Mar-Vell is finally here after months of anticipation and apparently some online controversy that I don't really care too much about, and is directed by Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck and stars Brie Larson as Carol Danvers, who has been teased to be the most powerful character the Marvel MCU has seen so far. I've been excited to see this character. I don't know much about Captain Marvel, so in a lot of ways this will be a very good introduction to a lot of people who may not be familiar with her. And it's about how she is a soldier in the Kree. As you may know, the Kree were in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and they were shown as these very volatile, emotionless, very, to the code soldiers who would do whatever it takes to get the mission done. One mission goes in particular a little sideways, and she has certain flashes of memories of a life that she used to have. She's trying to put the pieces together as to who she is and what she was before all of this happened, and she collaborates with a few people she meets along the way, like Nick Fury, played once again, of course, by Samuel L. Jackson, who has been digitally de-aged in this movie. And of course, you have some other characters that she knew from her time, as well as the Skrulls, who are coming for reasons. After the end of Infinity War, I think everyone was asking that big question. Why has she not been in the movie so far? Why have they waited till now to really give her any sort of screen presence or any sort of reveal? Well, I can't really say that because, that's a spoiler. The film addresses it though. I will say that. The film does a very good job of that. This is, of course, a big moment because it's also the first female-led Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. And much like Wonder Woman did in 2017, this is also a film that will go down as a film that inspires a lot of young girls, hopefully. And it does. There's this amazing photo, if you guys haven't seen it, of this girl at the premiere in, I think, UK, I believe. It's really sweet. Kind of gives you an idea of what the movie's really about, what it's really for. But as a film, how is this movie? Is it a good movie or is it disappointing? I would say about 85% of this movie is a good movie. In fact, I would say it's a very good movie. I had a blast watching this film. There's a lot of entertainment to be had in Captain Marvel. Brie Larson's terrific in this movie. She really makes this her own character. There are some people who found her a bit miscast. I think she did great for trying to portray someone who is in a point in her life where she's trying to figure out things and she's constantly being frustrated by the fact that things don't seem as clear as they should be. And as we delve down deeper into her life and we start to explore some of the more mysterious aspects of what led to her becoming a part of the Kree and becoming who she is, it becomes a more interesting story, one of the more interesting origin stories, and actually overall one of the more interesting stories the MCU has ever had. There's a very unique way of telling how she is the way she is over here, which kept me intrigued the whole time. Samuel L. Jackson is terrific in this movie once more. I mean, he's terrific always, but here he's great. He actually does become like a pretty integral part of the film. You kind of think earlier on that he's just going to be on the side, all right, I'm also there, I guess. No, he's all out here. He's there for a gigantic amount of film, so that's good to know. The star of this movie in many ways, however, turns out to be Ben Mendelsohn as Talos? I think it's Talos. He's terrific. He steals every scene he's in, and he's got some really great one-liners. He's one of the most entertaining characters of the film. He is a villain. I should say that he is a villain, but he's a great villain. He was great, and he did a fantastic job. I was very impressed. The way the story, like I said, is structured, it's also really good. It does leave you wanting more answers and wanting to know more and keeps you interested the whole time. Once the film does get to Earth, when Carol lands in a blockbuster, by the way, the film really picks up from there. The first 15 to 20 minutes are her as a Kree soldier, and I would say those are the most uneven aspects of the film. Like, certain points of this film are just not narratively as cohesive. Not cohesive, I would say actually a bit well put together as others are. The film does really just go from alright to okay, now we're going by the time Carol lands on Earth. And that's when the film gets really, really great. The film is not terrible before that. It just takes a while to get going, and it feels a little disjointed at points. Overall, the film does have those moments in terms of telling Carol's story as well. The film makes a narrative choice throughout the film, which I found to be a little interesting. I'm going to address that more in the spoiler review, but they decide to do something which can go one of two ways with audiences viewing the film. You're either going to view it as, we don't need that, or you're going to view it as, yeah, I don't know why that's not quite there. It can be a bit frustrating, and I can understand if some people are taken aback by that quite a bit. There are definitely some minor complaints that could be expansively discussed when more people finally end up seeing the movie. I don't really know though. My major complaint is just that it felt a bit uneven at points. It didn't quite work. There are a few story choices they make at one point in time, especially this one little thing which I can see it'll annoy a lot of people. It's kind of like in similar vein to Han Solo's name moment in Solo: A Star Wars Story. It was one of those things which I saw and I remember turning to my friend and thinking, okay. And very similarly, there's a moment in this where something happens, you're like, okay, I guess so. But don't be disheartened by that. It's not a terrible thing. It's just a minor little detail that they add in there. Otherwise, the film remains great. One of the things I do want to highlight, however, is the action sequences. They're terrific, very vibrant, very exciting, keeps you on the edge of your seat. Definitely watch this movie in IMAX. I know I keep plugging this, but they do shoot it with the special IMAX cameras, certain scenes, and they look amazing. And if there's any way to watch this film, definitely do that. That was where the screening was tonight. I was pretty honored to get into that screening. Thank you, friend, by the way. Shout out to my friend who probably watched this review. This is because of you. This is happening because of you. I was actually really invested in this movie overall. I think this was a really awesome film with some really great aspects to it. Yes, it does make a few choices. Yes, it does a few very interesting things. But overall, I'm excited to see it again. I'm excited to explore it again. I'm excited to see how Carol is integrated into the bigger universe once you get into Avengers Endgame, which actually reminds me of a point I do want to address. This film, as a sort of tying loose ends form, like there's a lot of things that this has which actually explain a few things in other Marvel movies, and like there are answers to those things. I gotta say, most of it handled brilliantly. There's one thing in particular I did not think that was gonna be there, and it was there, and I was very surprised with the way that that was handled. It answered a plot point that I've been wondering ever since quite a few movies ago, but I'm so glad that they addressed that one little thing that I've had on my mind for almost 6-7 years now. So that's just it. That's just a little thing that I had in mind. I should mention the soundtrack, beautiful, great song choices, score, fantastic. First superhero movie ever composed by a female composer, so that's a really awesome detail as well. And she did a fantastic job. There's really nothing more I can say about the film without going into extensive, like, minor or to major spoiler details. So I'm going to keep that away. I'm going to save that for the spoiler review because that is coming. I do have a lot to talk about. Stay for the credits, of course. This one's important. Stay for it, especially the first credit. Second one, sure, but it's really that first scene. But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. It's not flawless. It's not one of the best Marvel movies ever made. It's one of the most intriguing stories by far, but I highly recommend it nonetheless. I'm going to give Captain Mar-Vell an 8.5 out of 10. Lots of fun to be had in this movie, and I really do want to see it again. Thank you very much for watching. Look forward to more reviews very soon. As always, if you like this, please do subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the movies.